Well, hey Gundam Maniacs, welcome to another episode of Gundam Explained. In this one, we're going to be doing a little review of the Gundam Base Limited Freedom Gundam Clear Color. There are 3 reasons why I would not build this. I'm going to get to that shortly. But not only are we going to do that, but I am going to then put on and build this Freedom Gundam Wing of Light option set. I just happened to stumble across this. I'll put the link in the description. Thought it'd be a cool addition. Yeah, let's do it. All right, and here we go. Here is a SD Master Grade Freedom Gundam. Kind of crazy, right? There's so many reasons why I would not actually build this. For one, it's from Seed. I normally don't pick up things on Seed on my own, although lately the suits have been kind of appealing to me. The other thing is it's SD. I don't care about SD. I really don't care about SD. And then lastly, clear color. Like I see the clear on a model kit sometimes and I'm like, gimmick, don't need to see it. But it changed when I did see it at the Gundam base. I have a video up when I was in the Gundam base of Texas back in December, and they actually had this on display. So seeing it in person completely changed my mind. So to get some to what kind of changed my mind, you know, looking at this proportionally, obviously not Gundam-like, right? Because it's all SD, but it's just for an action figure. Looking at it purely from like an action figure standpoint, even though this was a model kit, I mean, this thing is pretty amazing. Like if we look at the articulation there of the elbow, this is stuff I would want from a 6-inch articulated action figure or more. And as I did that, I didn't feel like this was a model kit that was coming apart. Even with the hands, how it has the movable fingers, I think is perfect, especially when I've seen it done before, like on older master grades. This is kind of a new way to go about it, or a different way, I should say, because it's done on some kits this way, and it just works very well, because the joints are stiff, it's easy to put in the weapons. And then, yeah, even the head, oversized giant head, I'm not expecting much, but it does, you know, rotate. It looks like this would be like a perfect grade sized head. And then with the arms, look at that, where you can move it out if you know, it's going to dual wield a beam saber or something, or the twin blade. We can kind of see how the articulation works in the shoulder area. There's actually a lot to it, and it's really well done. In fact, I would consider this very relatable to or similar to a real grade in general. I mean, I guess, yeah, master grade. There's something about this, and I think it's due to its size, that really makes this feel like a real grade. Okay, and then moving down some with the abdomen, let's see, we've got the swivel here, and it comes apart, but I guess since I have it apart, you can see where there's that joint in there and then the joint there, they attach. So yeah, if you pull up too much, it will come apart, but it still gets really good forward, which is pretty crazy. Let's see the back. Yeah, the back is really well done too. Okay, and then we got the side skirts, which are a gimmick. I'll get to that later. We have the front skirts, which nicely move out of the way so you can see the articulation there for the legs, which is, you know, typical stuff that we would see. So, I mean, this has it all. And then the tiny little SD legs, you know, there's a back skirt that's gigantic, and I guess that moves out of the way enough for the the knee can go up all the way. See what's hiding there and touch that. So I mean, that is some pretty amazing articulation. The feet, lots going on there, because the front of the foot's like a separate part of the heel, and so you do get, I mean, tons more than you need of articulation here. And I tell you, as I'm looking at this on camera, moving around, because of the light, I love the reflections that it's causing. It really just makes this stand out. And another other little gimmick here is with the shoulder. With you move this little thruster down, that opens up. That's pretty nice. Panels drop down here on the shoulder and move out, just in case you need to do some further articulating with the arms. So really everything has been accounted for, and I would like give this a perfect score on articulation. That's not even counting this backpack back here, its whole, you know, wing binder system. I mean, this thing moves out so much. And for those of you that are familiar with the Freedom, it's that whole thing where he has his gun that's part of this, and then he has like the different wings. You know, I'm not yet by memorization knowing how this thing needs to be, you know, set or configured, but it's, I mean, it's pretty wherever you decide you want to put the wings and however you want it to stand. I mean, that looks great. And then yeah, the guns up here, they have some articulation too, that you could see here, where you can actually move it down. You can also swivel it. So depending on how you want the guns, you know, to point. And since we're talking about that part, that's kind of the gimmick that this has. We have the side skirt here that actually has like a gear system inside, which is pretty interesting. Like you're building it as a gear, and then this opens up. And I didn't notice this until now, even though I literally built it, but there's this little hinge down there. I guess if he was to, you know, hold it with his hands, let me see. Yeah, right there. Like if he wanted to hold it on either side like that. But I just love love this kind of added weaponry. I mean, the Strike Freedom has like so much to it that makes it awesome in terms of already built-in weaponry, the wings. It's really a display piece. All right, and to look at the other accessories before I put on the Wing of Light set, we have this shield. It has the options down here to put this on the arm or to hold the shield. In it, I actually didn't have it on at the time, so on the side skirts here, there's this beam saber. Right, it's a single beam saber. It has a little piece that's sticking out at the top. And that actually goes in here, so this little part opens up to allow you to place this in, and I don't know if I've got it backwards or forward, and then you can kind of close it, I guess, if you get it in there. Okay, that took me a second, but I like how it's designed that way because it has a little peg that then plugs into the side part here, you know, that opens right there. But anyway, you would normally have the beam sabers on either side. You just pull them both out, combine them here, and then you've got your twin beam blade saber thing. Comes with the effect parts, really like, although the thing I'm always noticing with effect parts, especially when you have something long like this, is you can kind of see where sometimes one will be bent just a bit. And I think that's inevitable and happens with all beam sabers. And I think really the solution is, yeah, maybe you can kind of bend it, mess with it, maybe put a little bit of hot glue and kind of work it to be perfect. Or just when you're displaying it, just kind of to work with it so then it looks even, and then you can have it displayed evenly. Because I think it's just one of those things where you're never going to get it perfect on the first try. You kind of have to mess with it. And it's because it's so long and that piece is so small, it's going to be easy to do that bend. All right, and lastly, the gun looks cool, right? Not too much to it. Does have a connector point right there. Yeah, it looks all shiny in the light and cool. Okay, before we move on even further to the Wing of Light set that I want to put on, just one last thing when it comes to the build and the look of this. Again, I said the build is great. I think the look is great. The clear just sort of works. I think because I have no connection to the Freedom necessarily. I just like this as a model kit work of art. It's this articulated robot with a lot going on. The clear panels look great. But then it came with the decal sheet. Now, even the instruction manual for this clear type Gundam base is the manual of the original release that was not a clear type. So when you're looking at it, you're seeing not only the images showing the colored armor pieces all around it, but also it came with the sticker sheet of the original. And, you know, I was questioning putting the stickers on as I was doing it, and I might try to zoom in here a little more because sometimes the stickers looked fine and sometimes it didn't even look like the stickers needed to go there. Like some areas, like where there's 101 is, you know, it's kind of hard to see. Some of the red, like on a silver or gray part, you can see. But I put all the stickers on, but I don't know how important it is or if it's that noticeable. I think that down there works, down at the feet. Yeah, even down here. I think some of it could work, some of it just doesn't. It's not that visible, so that might be something to think about when you're putting the decals on. Or I don't know if there is a process people have figured out when it comes to these clear type model kits. Do they even bother with the stickers? Is there different types of stickers to use? I don't know. Let's move this out of the way and let's look at this Wing of Light option set. Now you can tell by the box and that there's barely anything on this. No, this is some third-party thing. I don't even think Bandai offers an official Wing of Light option set. If so, I would have saw it. I would have bought it. Didn't see it. Okay, here's the packaging and it has instructions, which I need. All right, getting this open. Let's see what we got here. Cool, a bunch of transparent pieces. We've got the instructions. Let's get to this. Okay, let's see what I will be doing here. It's like parts of the wing, the effect part might slide on, so let me kind of mess with that for a little bit. Okay, that took me a minute, but it looks like, and I still could be having it wrong, it's interesting. You just kind of slide it in and it fits in, and it's made to, you know, fit in right over this here, so I guess that kind of helps make it easy. I hope I did it right. In fact, yeah, actually you can line up on here some of these little like plastic tabs. You can even see down here a plastic tab. So yeah, the idea is just line it in. Oh, and actually that already looks great. Okay, and the same sort of thing here where, let me kind of show it, where on the original kit and the effect piece, you can see they kind of like fit in together, and you just kind of have to move it around to kind of get it to click in, and then yeah, it clicks in, and that looks, I love this extra thing. And it looks like there's more to it where I can add this down here at the bottom. Okay, and I noticed the top wing popped off. I guess one of the, where was it? One of the tabs right here, you can barely see it. Looked like it kind of almost, I almost might have broke it, so it might be a little fragile with trying to fit it in. I could have been rough with it. Let's get this back on. Okay, got that piece back on. I would say, and again, it could be me, this is a bit finicky. You know, that happens sometimes, but I think it's gonna be one of those things where you set it up, you stand it, and just forget about it. Okay, I finally got that one on, and then these came off. Okay, and before it falls apart again, so far, this is where we are. I'm gonna adjust those without making that fall. There are these extra pieces though that I'm gonna have to look into what they do. It does say master grade, so let me translate this. Oh, you know what, real quick, while we're at this part, another gimmick that I love about this has to do with the backpack here. Let me see if I can do it without knocking everything off. There we go. So right here on the back, there's this part you can fold in. That is the connector for a stand. I love it. And I'm just using this stand that's even missing the part to support it, but it actually still works. Plug that in, and then, yeah. Oh, can't have the weight that far down, but there you go. So I'm gonna mess with this, get a good pose, show that off, and then that'll be some of the pictures for today. Okay, and this is a Chinese instruction manual here, so it's having to download that. Okay, here we go. Master grade SD free up to special effects bracket connect. Okay, so yeah, I'm not too sure then what these extra pieces are. If we were to look at the back here real quick, maybe it's something that you can plug in and then plugs into. That just came apart. Okay, I've been sitting here for a while. I cannot figure out what these other pieces do, even though if we look at the box here, it's not really showing those in use. So I sort of think that has to do with, we're just talking about a master grade down here. But if anyone happens to know, please let me know below, and then I'll make a video kind of explaining what was shared and then how to do that. All right, well, that will do it. That's the master grade SD Freedom Gundam, but it's like the clear type from the Gundam base. If you're into that sort of thing, I think this thing is totally worth it. If you're not into that thing, like I'm not, I think it's totally worth it. And then there's this Wing of Light add-on set option parts. I have that linked in the description below. It cost me $8.69 from AliExpress. It works and it looks good. It does sort of come apart sometimes if you're not too careful, but I think if you're just setting it up like this and then putting it on a stand, I don't think you really have anything to worry about it, especially for that price. So in my opinion, this is all worth it as part of your collection if you haven't got it yet. Also, shout out to Art Rovo Gundam, which is a sponsor of this episode, sponsor of this channel, and shout out to all the supporters that make this possible. Thanks so much for that. Check the links in the description if that's something you're interested in. But also down there in the links is for our Discord. We have a lot of fun there talking Gundam, so come join us, talk Gundam, show off your builds and all that. But until next time.